Hello, guys. I was just on the phone to my parents. Um, Such a blessing. Kenya, how you doing? Woo! Riddler, Matt, Anders, Adam Lastman. We got Fool King Hermes in the house. Um, so, yeah, please like, share, comment, support in any way you can. I'd be very, very grateful. Now, football and Freemasonry. You ready for this? Football and Freemasonry. Now, you have to understand that they're not going to come out and declare the Freemasons that they're in the occult, right? Back in the day, a few of them did. They were open about their connections to Freemasonry, which we'll discuss. But in the modern world, you very rarely will hear of a celebrity coming out declaring openly that they're part of a secret society. But they communicate through symbols, don't they? One AJ, much love to you. Jesus is coming back. Are you excited? I'm incredibly excited. I'm ecstatic at the thought of it. God wins indeed. Emmanuel, God bless you. So crack on with this. I think you're going to really enjoy this one you can share with your family. And again, I said Letitia, Joey Barton, Piers Morgan. Can you handle the truth? All right. Claim you're not Freemasons and all of that. Then why don't you start calling them out? Because you are, aren't you? Because you are a Freemason. So, you ready for this? I want to give a shout out to my bro, Red Pill Monkey. Love him. It helps me with some of the photos. Now look at this quote. If my brother John's watching and Tom and stuff, love you. My brother George is going to get married this Saturday. Congratulations, mate. I hope you have a wonderful marriage. Love you lots, okay? Oh, by the way, another future just hit. I called Crystal Palace. You all know. Can I get a woo in the chat? Literally another future. How many, guys, this year? I called this like 9 or 10 months ago. Palace are going to win this. And they just beat a team in the top half of La Liga. It's not like they just were given the trophy. But anyways, let's talk about Freemasonry in football. I had a word with my dad. When I was speaking to my dad, I was like, Dad, do you know any Freemasons? Are you aware of them? Do you know about Freemasonry in football? He said, I don't really know much about it. But I do know that in the 70s and the 80s, Freemasonry was prevalent. I said, are you a Freemason? Were you ever a member? He was like, no. I said, did you ever get offered? He said, no. And if they offered me, I would have said no. So he said, like, Freemasonry was more open in the 70s, the 80s. But now it's really secretive, isn't it? But this quote is very important. Out of evil comes good. However, and the confusion of tongues gave rise to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. So these Freemasons communicate without words. So when it says conversing without the use of speech, it's symbols that they're using to communicate with one another, right? And now this will start explaining some of the images that I'm going to show to you. All right, these are not just like some cool images or just celebrations. It's how they communicate with one another. They're part of brotherhoods, right? For us, we don't know what these symbols represent because we're not members of these fraternities. At least I'm not, and I'm pretty sure you guys are not. Now, just before we get into this, right, I have to tell you again, this took me 4 hours. So if you want to support with a like, a comment, a super chat, a PayPal, whatever it is, it took me 4 hours. Pounding headache. But here we go. Let's start with this. The Football Association was formed on the proposal of Ebenezer Cobb Morley at the Freemasons Tavern, which stood on this site. The modern game of football was born on this day, the 26th of October, 1863. Now, this sign here is what is called the Masonic penalty sign. You know, in football, obviously, you get a lot of penalties. Penalty equals 33, the highest degree of Freemasonry. And this is the Masonic penalty sign. And here you have, we're going to have to call them superstars, really. Mbappe is doing the Masonic penalty sign. He's got his tongue out as well. Roy Keane is doing the same pose. Again, you can't captain Man United and Republic of Ireland without being a Freemason. The FA was founded by Freemasons. It's quite clear that when you're a Freemason, you have a great chance of making it as a footballer if you have any type of ability, like any type of ability. And they know this. And there's Neymar doing the Masonic penalty sign. And we know Neymar obviously takes a lot of penalties, so does Mbappe. So the secret of Masonry, like the secret of life, can be known only by those who seek it, serve it, live it. It cannot be uttered, which is why they do this. It can only be felt and acted. I've told you these performers are actors. People like Neymar is an actor. You see the way he performs on the pitch. Again, they perform. It is, in fact, an open secret. So, what it means by an open secret is they're showing you, these images are showing you. They don't have to say, hello, my name is Jude Bellingham and I'm a Freemason, part of this lodge. Hey, I'm Olivier Giroud. Hey, I'm Eden Hazard. I'm Mbappe. I'm Dani Alves. Can I get a woo? It's an open secret. Like AJ said, symbolism will be their downfall. They're not gonna. You can't have all these players at the same time say we're Freemasons because everybody would start asking questions, wouldn't they? But they reveal themselves openly through symbolism. And each man knows it according to his quest and capacity. Like all things worth knowing, no one can know it for another, and no man can know it alone. This was William Howard Taft. All right? So there's Freemasons worldwide. I've covered this. It's not just the UK. It's in every single nation. And the fraternities are all in communication with each other. And William Howard Taft, who left this quote, he was the 27th US president. Right? And the US presidents, they're Freemasons. He's telling you this, a US president. That's not some quote from some third-degree Mason. It's amazing they all do them symbols. Exactly. You're just starting to understand what's going on. Good. So look, some of the players, I might not name them all, but you got your Bellingham, your Giroud, your Saka, your Salah, your Hazard, your Mbappe, your Alves, Harry Maguire, Luis Suarez. Pretty sure, I think he played Guardiola, I think. And then you've got the one-eyed symbolism, which is very prevalent with Egyptian Freemasonry. Again, you don't have to be an Egyptian to honour Egyptian gods. The Scottish Rite Freemasonry is not just because you're Scottish, okay? So look, you got KDB, he captained Man City, who was saved by a Freemason. I'm going out of business. Trent, Alexander-Arnold. You got the Council of Trent. Gabriel Jesus, who claims Jesus, even though his God is Lucifer. Jude again. Jordan Pickford. Beckham. Harry Kane. Foden. Vinny Jr. Mahrez. Pogba. And again, this is a Masonic symbol, as is this, that Neymar and Mbappe are doing. So they know what they're doing. Yeah, Freemasonry does go back to Egypt. Ganacho, the devil horns with the red devils. Marco Rus, this is Freemason sign as well. Lingard, Again, how he made it in the England squad is outrageous. I think that's Embuemo, who's now at Man United. John Joe Shelby, Devilon's here, Griezmann, Rooney with Lingard behind him, and then Lamine Yamal. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Again, the devil take him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Can I get an amen? Jan, much love to you. And please hit the like button, support the stream. Thank you. I can't go too long today. First sign in the super excellent Master Mason degree. All right, can you see it here? Mbappe does this a lot. And if you're watching, guys, leave a comment. Thank you very much. Any comment, even a woo. So this is Master Mason degree, and Yamal's doing the same pose. But I think it's Mbappe that makes that famous. This here, again, the Masonic symbol right here with Yamal. I presume that's his mother putting up the threes for Freemasonry. Master Mason's the third degree. This is the Baphomet that they're putting up. The unclean spirits with the blonde hair. So Yamal is deeply demonic. He got baptized by Messi. It would have been some sort of initiation with the occult, not a Christian baptism. Remember Anton LaVey baptized his daughter. It was called a satanic baptism. Right, now I'm going to give you information. Just wait for this car to leave. I'll take a sip of water. Yeah, Osiris Lastman. Appreciate you, bro. Cole Palmer, Butterfly Celebration. Yep, it's the occult. A football player is able to revert back from Freemasonry. What will happen to them? Do you know any Freemasons who left? What happened to them? Don't know any Freemasons. I think it depends on the degree. I'm pretty sure they have to do initiation rituals, and there's something in the initiation ritual where you have to swear to keep the secrets of the fraternity. However, like, you will go on YouTube, and there's YouTube videos of ex-Freemasons exposing Freemasonry. What happens to them, I don't know. I don't know if they get attacked financially, if they get attacked physically, if nothing happens to them. I don't know. I'm not a Freemason. I can't answer those questions. But I don't know any Freemasons. I'd love to interview one. If any of you are Freemasons, contact me. Because I want to know more about this fraternity. But I think, give me an amen if you agree. I expose just practically everything at this point. Yamal's not just some young lad who came from Barcelona Academy and become one of the best players in the world, right? He's not. He's clearly involved with the occult, with Freemasonry. The symbols they put up, they know what they mean. We don't. We have an idea. They know. They get taught. This symbol represents this, and we want you to reveal this to the world, because they won't have a clue. They're just going to celebrate because they're dumb. Yamal looks at you guys and the average person and me, although he don't know my knowledge, as just ignorant. They laugh at you. They don't respect you. They laugh at you. All those fans in the new camp, Yamal is laughing at you. He just thinks you're a muppet. He's just playing you. Yeah, that Australian pop star, whistleblower, yeah, he called it out. Again, I don't know if I trust him. But he came out and said a lot of good stuff, didn't he? He won a show. You have to be a Freemason to win a pop star show. Can I get a woo? Like, all the One Direction members came through Freemasonry, clearly. Simon Cowell and all of that. You can't win those shows without being involved. You can take part in the shows. You can even be on TV. You won't win it. People like Gareth Gates, Wool Young, they're Freemasons. Leona Lewis, whoever else has won those shows, I stopped watching. Golden Peacock with a woo. Do you think Roy Keane's persona is scripted? 1000%. I think the Vieira Keane thing was scripted. When you hear them talking, right? I've said this. When you hear Keane and Gary Neville and Micah Richards and Thierry Henry and all these people talking, it's all scripted. And Peter Crouch and whatever it is, whoever does those shows, it's all, they know what they're saying. So yeah, they put on a show. Yeah, the apron is the Gmail, yeah. The Masonic apron is the Gmail logo. All right, Spirit of Justice says he's a Mason. He says none of those people you mentioned are Freemasons. What degree are you, Spirit of Justice? And how do you know they're not? And why they're doing Freemason symbols if they're not? So yeah, let me know what degree, let me know what lodge you're a member of, what nation you're from, and let me know why they're not Freemasons. Because it's very easy to just leave a comment saying that, isn't it? Thanks for giving the link from the Bible. Much love. The apron's in the Bible, you know that? Adam, what happens if a planned ritual goes wrong? Again, I don't know. People talk to me like I founded Freemasonry. Can I get a woo? They ask me questions like I founded Freemasonry. I'm not a Freemason. I've never been one. I've never been invited to a lodge. I don't know what happens when a ritual goes wrong. They probably are punished. I don't know if you can work your way down. I know you work your way up in Masonry, like to 33 degrees. I don't know if they can like take you from 31 to 30. I don't know if they can ban you from the lodge. I don't know if they punish you, if they go through rituals with you, if they fine you. I don't know. I don't know. Ask the guy who's a Freemason, who claims he's a Freemason anyway. Yesterday I saw a post saying sports has sold 201 coded like the best players. Let's say Ronaldo's the first male footballer to play 201 international matches. Yeah, 201's massive, yeah, for sure. I've done a video about it, but 201's big. Right, so let's break this down. Adam, do you think Gary the numbers guy's legit? In what way? What do you mean by legit? Do I respect his work? No. As a person, I don't know him. But legit, what, like, is he a genuine person? Is he not part of the occult? Is he a shill? I don't know. I don't respect his work. I don't think it's good. But that doesn't mean that he's a shill or anything, or legit. I don't know. What did George Washington, Mozart, Duke Ellington, and Buzz Aldrin have in common? All are members of the world's largest secret society, the Freemasons, a group whose members include some of the world's most influential people and footballers whose secretive rituals have persisted for centuries. So Freemasonry is not recent. It's been going on for centuries. Media official. When you have any influence online, you're going to get called out, okay? It's part of the show, part of the game. So once you get any type of following, people are going to call you out. And for me, I call out so much, so people just call me out. That's all it is. I've been down this road before. I call out the Freemasons, so people say I'm a Freemason. People tell me I know too much for a normal guy. I think it's a compliment. I see it as a compliment, but that's what they say. I call out inverts, they call me an invert. So it don't matter. Like, people are going to say what they want about me. But watch my videos. Tell me somebody else on the internet revealing more than me. Type it in the chat. Tell me one person that reveals more than me consistently. So yeah, they can say what they want about me. I don't care at this point. Here's another example. I'm exposing the Freemasons. They'll say I'm a Freemason. It makes no sense. Freemasonry and the Football Association, which is the FA, share deep historical ties. The world's first governing body for association football was established in 1863 at the Freemasons Tavern on Great Queen Street in London. Interesting, I do this stream as Palace just won the European Cup, and Arsenal were coronated in Palace's stadium. Freemason Tavern is on Great Queen Street. Premier League's logo is a lion with a crown. Ebenezer Cobb Morley, a solicitor. Okay, a lot of solicitors and stuff, they'll be Freemasons, lawyers and things like that. And prominent Freemason invited representatives from 11 London clubs and schools to the tavern to standardise the disjointed rules of the sport. Because you got to remember with football, it was like, football was a mixture of rugby and football. Can I get a woo? It was a combination. There weren't really many rules to it. It was very unorganised, but people enjoyed it. It was the Freemasons that basically came up with the concept of football, the way that we see it. When you look at the history of how football came about. Then the Germans helped with the rules and all of that. Over 6 meetings, these men drafted the original rule book, officially separating association football from rugby. So rugby football basically is Freemasons, right? Football's a lot more popular. I like rugby. Another future hits, thank you. It's about, I think I've done 12 this year. I don't even code sports the way I used to. And I've told anyone who says, well, it's so easy to do that. Go do it next year. Get 12 futures next season. You won't be able to do it. You might be able to get 6, 7. You won't do 12, 13 in the same sport. But you'll get Bayern right probably to win the league, PSG to win the league. You'll get that right. Good luck with La Liga, Barca and Madrid. Good luck with the Premier League. Good luck with the FA Cups, the League Cups, Champions League, Europa League. Try and get it right. But people say they can. It's so easy. Well, go do it then. So English Football Association with Freemasonry goes back to 1863 when the Football Association was formed at the Freemasons Tavern in London, right? And it's now called the New Connaught Rooms next door to the Freemasons Hall. I wanted to show you this image. World Cup's going to be incredibly difficult. That's why I've told you I'm going to go game by game. I don't know who's winning the World Cup. I'm not even going to. But what I will do, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you riddles for teams. Give me a woo if you're happy with that. Especially for you guys on YouTube who don't even support my website. I'll give you videos about here's Brazil's riddle, here's Portugal's riddle, and then do what you want with it. And maybe in that stream I'll go, you know what, I really like Portugal to win it, and somebody will video record me and they don't win it and say I got my pick wrong, even though I've made it clear I'm not making a pick on this World Cup. That's what they'll do. That's the type of stuff people do to me. But whatever they want to do, they can do. So here's the Freemason photo. There's many of them. You can go online and watch, look them up. And the first thing I thought of, which I've shown you before, is, don't this remind you of the team photos of the clubs? Do you all agree with me? Doesn't that look a little bit like that? This stream should be getting thousands of likes. Joey Barden, come on, bro. You Freemason. Give me a message. None of them reach out to me, do they? I've said this. I know you're probably feeling like Illusion's repeating himself recently. Come on, professional athletes, reach out to me. Tell me that what I'm saying is nonsense. Come on. Come on my show and say, Illusion, man, you called a few good stuff, but you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to Freemasonry. Come on, test me then. Test me. And not some random guy. I want a celebrity, an athlete, a Premier League footballer, not Matt Letizia. Someone else. Come on. Tell me this is all coincidental that I show people every day. Barton's clearly in the club. Do you want to know why Joey Barton's in the club? One, he captained Man City, who was saved by Freemasons. I know he watches my videos. I've had about 20 people tell me, bring Joey on your show. He loves your work. Well, why has he never told me? Probably bullshitting people. It makes him look genuine if he says he likes my work. Right? Why has he never contacted me? Joey Barton, right? How can you have 2.5 million followers? I've muted his... Look, can I... Another woo, guys. I've muted his account. I don't want to hear what he has to say. People say Adam and Joey Barton are best mates. That's what people have said to me. I grew up with Joey Barton. People said I went to the same Masonic lodge as Joey Barton. I didn't even know about Masonic lodges as a young lad. But look, I've muted the guy because he annoys me. Look, they tried to silence me. They failed. Bro, you're always going to have a voice if you're a Freemason. Look at it again. We'll say this again. They tried to silence me. They failed. If they wanted to silence him, would he have 2.5 million followers? I have 17,000. It's more than the average person in the world. I don't have 2.5 million. This guy's not being silenced. So yeah. He's a Mason. He captained Man City. Was he a good footballer? He was decent. It was decent. I'm not going to say he couldn't play football, because he could. But he's just playing his role. They're assigned different roles. And I think Letizia is playing his role as well. I don't trust the guy anymore. Because if you go to like Letizia, who I think I still follow, he's only ever been good to me. I don't trust him. His following, although it's a lot, it's not like Joey Barton's. Letizia should have more followers than Barton, but that is a lot. That is a lot, isn't it? Because he's got a cross and a Bible verse, I'm supposed to trust him. I don't anymore. And he still works for Southampton, who a Masonic club. So yeah, if I cared about being liked by these celebrities, would I come out and say that, guys? If I cared about being liked and respected by them, I don't care for them. I don't need any of them to respect me. So yeah, I got that image of these Freemasons, and even like I've showed, look at their hands on the front row. We know they're obsessed with the black and white. I've told you why. But their hands on the knees, it's just like this. It's the same thing. So for me, yeah, bunch of crooks. I think every one of them is a Freemason. Even like the AXA sponsor looks like the Masonic compass. And I don't have any respect for them. Yeah, you'll do it in school photos because the Freemasons run the education system. Why? Right, in Freemasonry, right? You work your way up degrees, and the ultimate is when you get a master's. Freemasonry, you have degrees. In university, you get a degree. You get a master's degree. You're a master mason, right? So the education system was set up by Freemasons. They don't need degrees. They need contacts. They need contacts. That's all they need. We need a degree in general to get a good job. But most of us are just limited to what we can do. The system's against us, no matter how intelligent you are. Now, if you're a Freemason, it helps, doesn't it? I've said this. I'll say this. If my dad was a Freemason, I could have played in the Premier League. I'll say that. My dad was a Mason. With my ability, everyone can back me up who played with me. I would have been a pro easily if my dad was a Freemason. Because he would have had a chat with the Freemason coaches. All right, probably would have been part of the same lodges. And he would have sorted me out. But my dad, not a Freemason. He didn't even come to my games. He didn't even watch me play. He didn't get involved with when I was at Bradford City. When I got offered Bradford City, Barnsley, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United contract, he just said, do whatever you want, but probably go to Bradford because it's closer. But imagine being like Peter Crouch's dad or Mason Mount's dad. They're obviously helping them. James Milner's. You can't be the most capped player in the Premier League without being a Mason. Foden. Now, Julie, God bless you, much love. The deception is off the scale. Yes. Andrew Tate, 666. Of course. Probably not his real name. And there's Everton. This is the same for every club. Some of you probably play Sunday League. You do this, yeah? Semi-pro. It's the way we set up, and it looks good. But when you look at that, you don't think of that. That's what I'm showing you. I'm not part of the occult for knowing this. I research images. All I just typed in here was like Freemason pose, and it gave me this image. You can see here, it looks like the Gmail logo, the apron. I don't need to be a member to know this stuff. It's just, we have the internet, and most people abuse it. Can I get an amen? Smash that like button. Buy me an orange juice if you fancy it. We have access to the internet, and there's so much we can learn online. You guys are watching this stream today. God bless you. Thank you. And you're probably learning a few things. Oh, you could be watching porn. You could be playing video games on it. Whatever else we do on the internet. But you're choosing it because you want to learn. Like, you want to know, okay, Freemasonry, football, what's the connections? What's this guy talking about? Maybe you want to call me out. I don't know. But you want to learn. You're intrigued. All right? Now, yeah, Jordan Henderson has no right to be going to this World Cup. Average footballer. But didn't he captain Liverpool to the league? He's average. There's 1,000 Jordan Hendersons in England. Can I get another woo? There's 1,000 Jordan Hendersons in England who have an engine, who can get up and down a pitch, especially semi-pro level, some brilliant players. I played there, really talented players, who can ping a ball and score a couple of goals. That's Jordan Henderson. He's got an engine. He got a couple of goals. He didn't score many. He didn't create many. He was just a machine physically. But there's there's players at Sunday League like that who are just unbelievable athletes. So with Jordan Henderson, that guy, I don't see anything in him. I saw stuff in Gerrard. I think he's a Mason, but he was just amazing. Henderson is not the quickest. Is not the best technically. I don't know why he's going to the World Cup. And if you're telling me he's going there, right, for his experience and his leadership, I'm going to tell you this. Piss off. Can I get a woo? They're taking him for his experience. What? You take your best players. If you want him for the experience, put him on the plane. Make him be a coach. Take him there. Let him join in training. Let him give advice to the younger lads. You don't need to put him in the squad. He's there for the experience. He's played in big tournaments. Bullshit. He's there because he's a Mason. Don't bullshit us. All of you watching this, you're done now, aren't you? Give me a woo if you agree. You're done with the bullshit. You're done being lied to. I am. I was 6 years ago. I'm fully done with it now. Stop bullshitting. I see you. I see through you. I see your magic tricks now. I know what you're doing. I know how you perform them. You ain't tricking me anymore. Stop bullshitting us. Come out and be honest now. I feel sorry for parents who have kids who love Van Dyke and Messi. I get it. I feel sorry for you as a parent. You're in a tough situation. I would be. You got to tell them the truth, guys. You have to, and it's very hard. Now, I've got some golden information for you here. I've shown you images. I've got some more later, so stay tuned. After the very first match under the new football governing rules, way back in January 1864, so this is how far back it goes, Freemasonry and football, a toast was drunk, how very Masonic in itself, to success to football, irrespective of class or creed. That's a big thing with the Freemasons. They tell you it's not about your wealth. It's just about men becoming better men and having a brotherhood. And that's why you get some guys who are really wealthy. They come through like Chicharito Hernandez. His family were mega rich. But then you get like Gabriel Jesus, who was on the streets of Brazil. You get a lot of these like Rooney's. They grow up in a council estate. They tell you that anyways. And sometimes they'll play that. They'll be like, okay, for 20 years, you're going to live in this. But Rooney's going to get a career in football. You won't be living that for the rest of your life. They make deals like that. But they do all these toasts in Freemasonry. And that's why, like, if you notice, a lot of football clubs are being sponsored by alcohol, especially beer. And like when they win a cup, what do? They get the champagne. What do they do when they get the man of the match, guys? They used to give them a bottle of champagne. Do they still do that? Or do they just give them a trophy? They used to give them a bottle of champagne. It's a big thing with Masonry. They meet up, they have a drink. Like how we do in the pubs. The pubs are all founded by Freemasons. So the FA was founded in a tavern. That's what it was, just men going there, having a few drinks, all right, catching up. That's what people think the average Masonic lodge is. And for most Masons, that's all it is. But for the higher ones, it's not. Neymar has several injuries and wounds, but is hailed like a god when Brazil was called up. Talk about that. It's been a golden calf these last few days. I'll have to do a separate stream about Neymar. Like, if I was a Brazilian and I found out Neymar got selected, right, as a football fan who knows the game inside out, I would be pissed off. He don't deserve to go. I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm so happy he's going. It's Neymar. I'd be like, the guy's been injured. He's not good enough. His attitude sucks. If we're serious about winning it, we can't have Neymar. But as a Brazilian, they're all like, and you don't even know if it's true with Brazil. It could just be the media. It's just like, Brazilians go crazy. Neymar selected. Is he finally going to get his World Cup? It's like, he shouldn't be there. And Ancelotti, who, by the way, coached Everton, a Masonic club, right? Ancelotti has to be a Mason. Again, they're not going to tell you, because if it all came out, all of them were Masons, it would destroy the illusion of football. They can't all tell you. But Ancelotti, who is one of the greatest managers of all time, just look at his statistics, him taking Neymar is one of the worst decisions you'll ever see. I don't care if he goes and he scores Neymar because it's all ritualistic, but pre-tournament, taking Neymar, instead of like, for example, that Chelsea striker, João Pedro, it shows that he's giving in to Neymar. But Neymar's going because they've decided in the Freemason circles that Neymar's going. I don't like Neymar. How do the players fake real tears? The same way actors do. I think I faked tears one time to get out of trouble. Legit fake tears. I think I've done it. Has anybody else done it? I'm pretty sure I once did it at middle school. I got in some trouble because I was cheeky and I had a big mouth. And I was like, oh no, I've gone one step too far here. I'm going to get in trouble with my parents, which I didn't want. And I'm pretty sure I cried. I'm sorry, it will not happen again. And I remember walking out thinking, I did you. In regards to the teacher. I wasn't crying. There was a bit of panic in me. I was like, I don't want my parents like having a go at me. And they were, okay, Adam, okay. You can't do this again. I'm like, I won't. And I went out and I had a grin like the Grinch, guys. So yeah, it's I could do it. I could bullshit, talk my way out of stuff and be a bit emotional. Of course they can fake cry. At school, when I was a teacher, there was a couple of girls that studied drama. They could sing and dance. They were sweet girls and they always wanted to like perform. And then they were like, do you want to see my fake cry, Mr. Adam? I'm like, I'm not really bothered, but if you want to show me. And then I was like, Isabel, are you all right? Sit. No, really? And she was like, yeah, I'm joking, Adam. I was like, good start. You got me. Legit got me. She told me she was going to fake cry. She fake cried, and I legit thought, wait, are you actually crying? She did me. That's I don't know what she was, a 10th grader or something at the time. I can't remember. But anyways, let's go back to the Masons. What Neymar's dyed his hair blue. The guy's dyeing his hair all the time. I mean, he did his hair pink, didn't he? I don't know. He's an attention-seeking little bitch, and his hairline's going as well. I can't, guys. I can't say much. You talk the illusions here, and he's got a shocking hairline. It's time for me to shave my head. I'll be honest. I'm 40. The glory days of my hair are gone. But Neymar, bro, what's going on with this Barnett? Like, I've just seen it now. So they're just Beckham did all of this. I don't know if it's a ritual, if it's attention seeking. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I can't tell you why he does this, but he's having a nightmare. Mbappe did his hair blue. Guys, I'm going to shave my head. I like myself with a shaved head. Sometimes I like to style my hair, but it's done. It's game over for my hair now. It has been for years. If my hair was a dog, put it down. I don't know what I'm doing. It looks good. I get it cut and it looks good for 3 days. So I don't know. I don't know. But is this the fake tears? He's breaking down in tears, man, with the cameras on him. I can't. He dives around like a little bitch and he don't even get touched. So, yeah, I told you, I've never liked Neymar in my whole life. Look, that's the Freemason symbol. All right, can you see that's the compass. You know they do the square and compass. Can you all see it? The V, yes or no? They know what they're doing. And obviously, to go to PSG, you must be really high up in your Masonic circle. That's why the top stars. But then how they justify it, because Freemasons in many ways are intelligent. They just say they go there because PSG, they're owned by Arabs or whatever it is. And they go because they're getting the money. It justifies it. It's like, okay, the fake injuries as well. Do you rate Pogba? I thought Pogba was unbelievable. Can I get a woo? I did. I thought Paul Pogba was unbelievable. At like Juventus and early doors at Man United. Yeah, I rated Paul Pogba. How I see it with me, right? As a footballer, would I want to go up against Pogba? No, he would rinse me. I'd go up against Jordan Henderson. Would I want to go up against Pogba in his prime? No. He would ruin me. I don't feel like that with Jordan Henderson. So yeah, I don't know why he's done his hair blue, but they always have to put a symbol up. Can't they just stand there like a regular? You see the average person take a photo, right? There's no hand symbols. Like for me, on the average photo, right? If I'm with a lad or a girl, I'll put my arm around them and that's it. I don't do all the wiggling my fingers. I'm sure I've got a couple of photos doing that. I'm sure we all do. But with these, do they ever actually just do? There's the magician. They do magic in these. Shaq said he's a Freemason. He's got the Masonic ring. He's been open about it. But they call them magicians. And they do this. That is the vow of He right there is telling you I'm a Freemason. when you understand the symbolism. And look, remember this, guys. Face mask, no face mask. Different rules for Freemasons. Can you see it? Just different rules. They play by different rules to us. I have to keep exposing them. They hate me, guys. I'm pretty sure they don't like me. But I think they respect me as well. I think there's a weird thing with Freemasons with me. They don't like me, but I think they respect me. They respect people with knowledge, guys. They do. They love knowledge. They'll be like, okay, this kid, well, I'm not a kid, I'm 40. This guy, man, whoever he is putting in some work. Most people won't believe him anyway. They'll probably just think he's crazy, so it's fine. Let him go. He only has 500 people watching. Aubameyang, shave it off. Shave it off. Shave it off. Get rid of it. Pierre, whatever your name is. I think it's Pierre. Pierre, get rid of that hair. Ooh. Anyways, again, I can make fun of myself as well, so don't get all upset. All right, where was I? There are a number of Masonic lodges named after their famous teams. Anfield Lodge, number 2215. Everton Lodge, number 823. Kobe. And more recently, the Football Lodge, number 9921. Is there a football lodge? Let me look at this. Where is it? Oh, there's you see the thing I showed you with Neymar and Mbappe? Can you see it? Carefully here. Can you see it here? This is probably better. Can you see it? Can I find that image again with them? Where are you little snakes? And I'm also doing all of this because I want you guys to watch the World Cup and you're going to start seeing these celebrations and it'll make more sense to you. You won't be fooled by it. Where are they? No, I don't know. Oh, there, look. So if you see the V there, can you also see it here? Everybody just let me know. Spirit of justice, you said we don't even know you exist. Well, you know I exist and you're of Mason, so you're kind of talking shit. Can I get a woo? They do know, bro. They do know that I exist. Of course they do. Why do you think Letitia came on my show? Contacted me. What they call Harry Kane, the master craftsman. That's what they called him. As a striker, a master craftsman. They've mastered their craft. So what they have in Freemasonry is the craft. All right? So it's very clear who these people are. And then they'll have kids who grow up in it as well. Okay, let me keep reading this. There have been myths about the colours, or rather colours of the professional soccer team, Manchester City FC, of the English Premier League. Who's been the best team the last 10 years? Man City, yeah, with the Mason, Pep Guardiola. Again, Pep's not going to come out and say, hey guys, I'm 33 degree. Not going to tell you that, but look at the symbols he puts up. So Man City, best team. You could you say in the world over the last 10 years? I think you could argue with that. Anybody? Man City, best team in the world over a 10-year period? I think so. Might say Real Madrid, perhaps. PSG, I would say Man City. But that's opinion. In 1894, the club was in financial crisis and was bailed out by Masons who asked that in return the team wear the Masonic colour of blue. That shows you how important these colours are to the Freemasons. They literally said, we'll bail you out, you won't go out of business, but you have to wear blue. And then now it's all like Blue Moon song and all of that. So clear as well, like Oasis of Freemasons. I think I've done a video about it. Yeah, you could say Real Madrid as well. Sydney Rose was a medical doctor and Mancunian, which means she's from Manchester, Freemason. He had been a supporter of Manchester City since the 1920s. He was appointed director of the club from 1966 to 1986. After resigning as director, he was given the prestigious position of life vice president until his death in 2014. He revealed that the real founders of the club became involved in 1894 and there was sort of financial crisis and that they were Masons or certainly had close Masonic connection. That was why they started playing in pale blue, the colours of Freemasonry. Although there were no corroborative documents to support this claim, his reputation makes his claim hard to be dismissed. Now let's talk about the red and blue lodges. I believe Roberto Firmino and Danny Alves are monumentally huge Masonic inverted deceivers. That's my answer to your question. In no way do I believe they're genuinely reborn in Jesus Christ because they proclaim Jesus right now. Not a chance. Durrell, baby, thank you very much. Love you, mate. Well done on your winning bet yesterday. Nailed, was a 4-team MLB. Again, baseball's the most Masonic sport of all of them. We've got Otter 68 in the house. Hope you're doing well, bro. Rose Bowl equals rose is the international symbol of socialism. Brilliant. That's correct. Exxon, I agree. City since 2018. Madrid since 2014. I agree with that. Right. Let's talk about red and blue lodges. This is really important. This is a game changer. The red and blue lodges, this to me explains why the biggest derbies in the Premier League are Liverpool versus Everton, Reds versus Blues, and Man United versus Man City, Red versus Blues. Liverpool and Everton were both founded by 33-degree Freemason John Holding. Fact. Man City were bailed out by local Freemasons who requested that their team wear the Masonic colour of blue. And Sir Alex Ferguson, the greatest ever coach, has been knighted, which clearly reveals he's a Mason. Once you get knighted, you're a Mason. Yeah, the Patriots colours, exactly. Look at the British flag. Look at the US flag. You got that red and blue. It's so important to them. Look at politics, guys. Smash the like button. Democrats, Republicans, Labour, Conservative. It's red and blue. It's red and blue. I'm sure you guys, the red pill and the blue pill in the Matrix, the red and blue is obviously extremely important to them. If anyone else can think of any more reds and blues, there's loads of them. Raw and SmackDown. Can I get another woo? In wrestling, Raw is the red brand, SmackDown's the blue brand. Vince McMahon obviously was 33-degree. Right? No doubt about it. And then like people like the wrestlers he brings through, like The Undertaker, they're coming through Masonry. The Miz, Austin, Bret Hart, they're coming through. That's why in wrestling it's a brotherhood. Call it a brotherhood. When Rashford, Saka, and forgot his name now, Sancho missed penalties for England, they all wrote statements saying they were grateful to their brotherhood for sticking by them. Freemasons can communicate with hand movements or by what they say in different languages that's twisted in English. Yes, they have their own language that they speak, but they often speak through symbols. You see symbols everywhere. Adam, you asked me this, what's worse, gambling or porn? Gambling whilst you're jerking off. Can I get a woo? Let's just say that. What's worse, gambling or porn? Gambling whilst you're jerking off. Let's just say that. Don't do that. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. We'll give you a different answer. It depends how much you're gambling, right? For example, what's worse, gambling or porn? If you're gambling thousands of dollars daily that you don't have, but you're also jerking off once every day, I would rather be jerking off than gambling thousands of dollars. If I'm gambling every day, but $5 every day, but I'm jerking off 20 times, I'd probably rather be gambling. So it depends on the addiction, the level to it. There's a difference between having one beer every night and 15 shots of tequila every night. You're still technically drinking daily. Should I drink daily? Again, it depends on the consumption of it. I think if you are a gambler and you can bet $10, $20 a day and it doesn't touch you and you have fun and it makes the games interesting and enjoyable, I support that. But if you're betting money and biting your nails and you're punching walls and it's affecting your relationships, affecting your health, it's really bad for your gambling. It's really toxic. Jerking off, again, I don't know. If you're doing it all the time, it can't be good for you. You believe Arsenal will win the Champions League? Tough game. I'll be coding it on my website. I'm going to put my link right now, so if anybody wants to join, be part of an incredible website. Not because of me, because of the people on it. Yeah, you're going to find arguments for Arsenal and PSG. Biggest thing for Arsenal is they keep PSG on 34 points. The 34th edition of the Champions League, and they just won the 34th edition of the Premier League. That Man City did that. They won the 31st edition of the Premier League the same year they won the 31st edition of the Champions League. And their goalkeeper was number 31, Edison. So I don't know. I hope PSG, because it'll be like another future. If it's Arsenal, I can't be shocked because they were the favourites. I will never. My mate Lockwood said, he was like, "Do you know Arsenal are favourites to win the Champions League?" I said, "They can't be." He said, "Yeah, Arsenal are favourites pre-season." I couldn't comprehend it. It's like, did the algorithm know something we don't know? Why is it Arsenal? And they're in the final. He said Arsenal get to the final. They're favourites. They're going to make the final, and he got it right. He didn't even need a code. He just looked at the odds. Okay, let's talk about James Ernest Magnell. You missed my old house and background. You don't see me often now, do you? I just present my screen. James Ernest Magnell was an English football manager who started his career with Burnley. Go look at Burnley's logo. It's Freemasonry. I'm going to start breaking down the logos for you. It's got the Masonic ladders, and there's a few other things. King Charles's favourite team is probably part of their lodge or something. He also managed Man United between 1903 and 1912 and went on to manage Manchester City from 1912 to 1924. He's the only man to have managed both clubs. Now, alongside his football career, he was a prominent Freemason. I need my air conditioner on. He was a Freemason. Right? They were more open about it back then because there wasn't social media. There wasn't the illusion exposing them, were they? They could get away with it. But this James Ernest Magnell, you got to know where it all came from. If you think now, right, again, I need everybody to smash the like button. It's founded by Freemasons. There was Freemasonic managers, players. The only World Cup winner for England, their coach was a Freemason. If you think that it's changed now, it's got worse. The Freemasons are not just going to give it all up. If I type in, was the Premier League founded by Freemasons, it won't say yes, it was. It'll say, well, there's some overlap between that because the Freemasons founded the Football Association and the Freemason Tavern, but there's no factual evidence that suggests that the Premier League was founded by Freemasons. And that they can't tell you that now. There's too many people like me that can expose it all. If you're getting knighted like Sir Alex and Beckham and Harry Kane, Lewis Hamilton, it's very, very obvious that the Masonic fraternities are rewarding you. Isn't it? It's not the royal family just going, you know what, let's have Beckham, let's do him, let's and they're just randomly picking off a list. They've worked their way up the Masonic ladder and they're getting rewarded for it. And then they get more influence and more fame and more money. It's part of it. The higher you work your way up, the more influence you get. That's why they can become presidents and stuff. Right, I need my AC on. Sweating here. Let's read about this guy. James Ernest Mangnall, 1864-1932, was a pioneering English football manager and administrator. Belmont-born, Ernest Mangnall holds a legendary, unique status in English football history. When you start hearing legendary and unique about people, straight away, Mason. Can I get a woo? Once you start hearing the media start, is legendary, is unique, is incredible. Once you start hearing that in the media, it's very obvious that it's a Mason. Unique status in English football history as the only person to have managed both Manchester United and Manchester City. Big deal, eh? Alongside Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson. Again, another one. Mason. Do you have Sir in front of your name? Mason. Okay? If you hear me being called Sir Adam Edwards, unsubscribe, guys. Unsubscribe. Mangnall remains one of the only three Masonry, to ever guide Manchester United to a top-flight English League title. Masonic connections heavily influenced his career, particularly during his time at Manchester City, so he was with the blue and the red. The club's iconic sky blue kit colour was chosen in 1894 as a nod to the local Masonic lodge that helped rescue the club from financial ruin. Managerial career, Man United 1903-1912. Mangnall took over the club, then struggling in the second division, and completely transformed its fortunes. He focused heavily on physical fitness, modern scouting, and team motivation. Crucially, he capitalised on a financial scandal at rivals Manchester City to sign star players like Billy Meredith and Sandy Turnbull. He secured United's promotion in 1906 and delivered their first significant silverware. All right, First Division titles 1907-08, 1910-11, FA Cup 1909, FA Charity Shield 1908-1911. Now he went to Man City. Only coach to do Man United and Man City. This guy must have been high up in the Masonic order. There for 12 years. In a move that stunned football, Mangnall agreed to cross the Manchester divide while still in office at Old Trafford. His final game in charge of United was actually a Manchester derby, which City won 1-0 amid press coverage of Mangnall's public delight. He stayed at City for over a decade, guiding them to a First Division runners-up to a former club, Burnley, in 1920-21. Now, I want your help here. I know them. I want you guys to get involved. No, Phil Jones' spell was not a humiliation ritual. Look how many trophies he won. He played for England. No. You look back at Jones's career, he won a lot. It wasn't humiliation ritual. There's been people who've gone through massive money signings and been terrible. I don't think Phil Jones. He came from Blackburn, didn't he? He came young. He did well. He was a meme. He was definitely a meme, and his facial expressions are a joke. But if you look at his career, he did well. Tell me players who've played for Man United and Man City. Go. I'm going to go stretch my legs because my back's hurting. Type it in the chat. I know a load of them off the top of my head. Tell me players that played for Man United and Manchester City. Go for it. It's a fun little game for you. I know a lot of you like this. I'm going to sip my water, stretch my legs. See if you can give me 5. Not a high 5, give me 5 examples. I won't forget Rooney. Don't worry about that. I will not be forgetting Wayne Rooney. I'll tell you if they're correct as well. Oh, my leg. Somebody said Hargreaves, correct. Somebody said Andy Cole, correct. That's 2. Tevez, good one. Tevez, correct. He went from Man United to City. Guys, Dennis Law, good one. He scored the goal that pretty much got Man United relegated. Schmeichel, good one. Yeah, that was a big shot. I've got another good one. This definitely deserves a woo. Can't think of any else off the top of my head. Kanchelskis. That deserves a few woos. Andre Kanchelskis. Wait, what's going on? Where have I gone? Oh, here we go. Mason's messing around with me. Any more? Is that it? Yes. Wait, Sancho, didn't he? Did he play for Man City? I think he did, didn't he? When he was younger. Good shout. Sancho's a good one. Bryant Kidd. I think. All right, good ones. Nice. Good knowledge. Football's all fixed. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's a great point. Guys, can you guys see me? Yeah, they call it the greatest show on earth. They tell you, man, they tell you. What's Old Trafford called? The Theatre of Dreams. You can't see me? What about now? No? Really? Can you see my screen? Can you see the screen? Okay. Beyond tactics, Magnell is famously remembered as the architect. Guys, the architect, Freemasonry. They are the great architect. In Freemasonry, their God, they call him the great architect of the world. So this guy was the architect of Manchester football. So like the United City, guys, this guy played a massive role in it. There's Masonic lodges all over Manchester. He was the main driving force behind both clubs moving into legendary large-scale stadiums. So this guy, this Mason, orchestrated Man United's historic move to Old Trafford. He was behind them playing at Old Trafford, guys. Instigated Man City's transition to Main Road. This guy. This Freemason, guys. I've been to Old Trafford. I've been to Main Road. I've been to the Etihad. These Masonic influences don't just disappear. They grow. He also briefly managed his hometown club, Bolton Wanderers, and Burnley early in his career. Outside of club management, he helped co-found the Central League and the Football Managers Association. So he's behind the Football Managers Association, a Freemason. So look, he's done all of this. Being a secretary, a manager, winning trophies, instigating the move to Old Trafford, to Main Road, winning FA Cups, winning league titles. And he's a Freemason. Now, I can't tell you how it's being done with the games because they look so organic. I'll tell you that they do. You go watch your local team, Bradford City, Bolton, whoever it is, it just looks like a bunch of lads playing football. Again, I don't know how it's being done. I don't know the magic involved. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever know. But I will tell you Freemasons are behind this. Yeah, I think Ronaldo, Messi, I don't think they're human beings, Jan. Did you watch my video about Ronaldo and Messi and the aliens? I don't think they're human. I believe that they're not human. Ronaldo, Messi, even Neymar. The superstars. There's the superstars, then there's stars, and then there's, okay, he's decent. And then there's like, how's he even a professional? But the superstars is a tiny amount. No, the Freemasons worship the fallen angels. I don't think they are. Some of them maybe. Some of the ones running Freemasonry could be. But you've also got to remember this, Julie. The average Freemason, the average one, is a regular guy who's middle class. You've got to accept that. You have so many people in that Masonic lodge, they pay their dues. That's why you always hear that he paid his dues in wrestling. In Freemasonry, you got to pay your dues. You got to pay to be a member. They make a lot of money. But the average one that goes, like, they're not famous, they're not rich, they're not influential. They want to be part of a brotherhood. But the ones at the top, the ones who are leading it, the masters and all of that, they have massive, like, look, this one guy here, look, this one guy here, whatever his name was, James Ernest Magnell, look at him. He's a manager, an administrator, a pioneer, all right, secretary. This is one guy, and look at the influence he's had on Man United and Man City. This is one person. So it's not like all Masons are running the show. Most Masons don't have a clue what day it is. They don't. Told you, I bet I know way more than the Master Masons do, the third degrees, about the world and esoterics and the numbers and all of that, and the Bible. They just turn up, pay the dues, do a few little rituals, and maybe they do favors for each other. There's Sir Alex as well, who I famously say, the greatest coach in the world who never coached. The most famous successful coach who never coached. He never took a session. He sat on his ass chewing gum. And I always repeat myself with this. He sat on his ass chewing gum and he gave good interviews. Because you really, really believed his interviews. And you were like, man, he's so good because look at that temper. Really? Or you just need a temper to be the greatest coach? How come Vinnie Jones was not the greatest coach, or some other players who had tempers? But look, anytime you start getting these little awards, then it's a red flag for me. I'm not saying you can't get awards and be successful in life. Once you start getting these type of awards, you're a Freemason. And there's the blue and the green. And remember, the referees wear the black and the white. They're obsessed with that. And I keep telling you, Freemasonry is based off the Bible. They've twisted the Bible. And then they made it all about enlightenment and be your own God and all of that. Regular Masonic lodges work the first 3 Masonic degrees rather than the appendant Masonic orders such as York Rite. Remember, York City just got promoted, like I told you. And Scottish Rite. Sir Alex, some of the greatest coaches ever, guys. What do they have in common? Scottish. Some of the greatest coaches are Scottish. Shit players, great coaches. No offense if you're Scottish. There's some good Scottish players, obviously. Like Kenny Dalglish, clearly will be Scottish, right? Sir Alex. And I mentioned somewhere here, I'll save that for later. I don't want to repeat myself. They're also called craft lodges. That's why I told you they master their craft. Witchcraft as well is involved within this. All lodges belong to a Grand Lodge. They also have Premier Lodges as well, which is why it's called the Premier League. And are members of their system. That's why in football they have a youth system. I was part of the youth system. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam, you're not going to be able to make it because you're not physically ready to be a professional. Really? Okay. Is that what they told Iniesta and Messi? AF and AM or F and AM? The system that the particular Grand Lodge belongs to will dictate the ritual used in the standard lodge operations. So they do different rituals in different lodges. That's why they'll do different celebrations and they're part of different clubs. Can I get a woo? Right? There'll be some players that everyone like, why didn't Letitia go to Man United or Chelsea? Maybe the Masonic order that he's in didn't allow for that to happen. Maybe they didn't take him in. Maybe that's why certain players don't ever play for England when you're like, how's that guy not in the England squad? And then you get Jordan Henderson in it. And whoever else has played for England. You're like, how is he in England squad? Because there'll be something behind closed doors in the Freemasonic lodges that we don't know about. And they'll say, oh, well, he didn't really have a great season. Well, he had a better season than Jordan Henderson. Yeah, even Tony. Yeah, but he scored goals, bro. He's in form. Oh, go get a conference striker who got 35 goals if it's just about scoring goals and being in form. Can I get a woo zero? Go get a Sunday League player. One season I got over 70 goals. Well, get me. I'm full of confidence. I'm banging the goals in. He's doing it in the Saudi League. And then they're bullshitting you that the Saudi League is right up there in the top leagues in Europe because they've won a few games in that shitty rigged tournament that Chelsea won in the US where they battered PSG. Do you know what I mean? That they're convincing you that that league's good. It's dog shit. And then even Tony scores a few goals in it. He should be on the plane. Come on. Give me a break. He's there because he'll be working his way up that Masonic ladder. Oh, no, but Adam, he takes penalties. He'll be really good if we go to a shootout. You know what's going to happen if England go to a shootout? Even Tony will miss a penalty. They're all raving on about him. Take him because he's good at penalties. Really? I bet he ends up missing one. So that's the type of shit they do. This. What else? However, there is another distinction between lodges. This is based on the ritual used in the degrees themselves. Blue lodges are based on the rituals as created by the York Rite body of Freemasonry. The other style is called red lodges. Hey, this is based on the rituals. Adam, there's no rituals. Okay. Of the Scottish Rite. Ice cream man going by. I'll be all over. Who wants to buy me an ice cream, guys? Super chat. Hey. It's gone past. Too late, guys. Too late. This is based on the rituals of the Scottish Rite. Remember your boy Van Dijk had to go to Scotland, didn't he, before he went to Liverpool? Earn his stripes. The actual ritual used and the philosophical and esoteric foundation is explained in more depth in Albert Pike's tome, Moles and Dogma. Read that. If you want to know more about Freemasonry, read this. So he was 33 degree. So Masons, guys, right? They are big into philosophy and esoterics. They're big into it. They play stupid. The footballers play stupid. They're big into esoterics, astrology, philosophy, sociology, history. They're a lot of them are very intelligent, but they play dumb. Someone like Rooney's getting involved in this stuff. It's not just some dumbass scouser that he plays. Do you know what I mean? Or Harry Kane. Oh, yeah. We'll see if I can allow me the opportunity to go to play in Germany with Bayern Munich. Really allow me to really take my game to another level. Harry Kane's getting knighted. Why? What was he getting knighted for? Scoring goals? Marrying his sister? Why is he getting knighted? His job's to score goals. He's a striker getting paid a shitload of money. More money in a week than I'll get in 3 years. Why is he getting knighted for putting ball in back of the net? Why? Or scoring a volley? What's he doing? How's he making England better? Doesn't even live there. Well, let's knight him. He's an ambassador. For what? Freemasonry. Most Masonic lodges in the USA are blue lodges. There are thousands of blue lodges in the USA that are home to over... Look at that, guys. How many Masons you got there? 2 million. Someone like Landon Donovan, right? Do you remember him? He finally sorted his Barnet out. Well, he got surgery or whatever you call it. Transplant. This joker, right? I'm going to show you a few things. Look. He needed to sort his hair out 20 years ago, but he's Landon Timothy Donovan. I've met this guy because he lived where I used to live when I lived in the US. I've met him a few times. I didn't like him. Thought he was an ass. but I chatted with him a few times. And there's a reason why this guy went to Everton. Random signing, Masonic Lodge. Everton, founded by a 33-degree Freemason. He came over, look at you see his red, his white, his blue. Came over, he played for Everton, he did all right, didn't he? But again, he's not going to tell you he's a Freemason. But man, the way they talk about Landon Donovan in America, he's one of the greatest footballers that's ever played the game. Is he? Is he, or was he bang average? I watched him a lot because he was at LA Galaxy when I lived in LA. And that standard was horse shit. Can I get a woo? I used to watch the LA Galaxy. I got free tickets. That standard, probably a little bit better now, when he was playing, was horse shit. Oh my word. I was like, man, some semi-pro teams could come out here and beat LA Galaxy. And comfortably. Couldn't believe it. Awful. Their touch. They were fit. That was it. They could run. There. Jeez, Landon. Can we get a G's in the chat? Jeez. Jeez, Landon. It's got to go. This is really inspiring me today to just shave it. Got to go, Landon. It's got to go. It's got to go. Jeez. Jeez. But yeah, there he is, Mason, with Tim Cahill, another Mason, Australian one. Nice little hand symbol there. They know what they're doing, man, and I'm going to keep exposing these jokers. I am. And then they always do, that is called the Masonic point. I've done this, it's the Masonic point. And every top footballer who scores does that. They're always pointing, it's the Masonic point. Trump does it all the time. Is he throwing up devil horns there? Anyways, Landon, shave it off. Where am I now? However, there are a select few lodges left that are using the Red Lodge degrees. These degrees are based on the Scottish Rite, aka AASR rituals, whatever that is. The Scottish Rite itself is based on a degree system that originated in France. Yeah. Why do you think your boy Arsene Wenger came over and just conquered England? The Professor, Le Professeur. Imagine playing against him. Absolute giraffe. He'd be on his ass against me. I'd touch and run. Arsene Wenger, man, I bet he was horse shit. He was a pro footballer as well. This system then migrated through French colonies in the Caribbean to the southern part of the USA. So again, most of France's national team, they're Africans, right? And they're Masons. How interesting that the Red Devils' greatest ever coach is Scotsman. Remember, the Scottish Rite is the Red Lodge. Sir Alex Ferguson, and he was replaced by Scotsman David Moyes. You remember that, guys? How does this not have 100 likes? Can everyone just hit the like and just ask yourself, why doesn't this have 100 likes? Is it because the Freemasons are involved with the YouTube algorithm? And Joey Barton, again, get on the show, bro. Or do you need to ask for permission from your lodge? Woo! When Fergie left, all by the numbers, by the way, he wins the league and he leaves. He said he was adamant he wanted to be replaced by David Moyes. Scottish. Now, where did David Moyes make his name as a coach? Everton. Masonry. Right? McTominay, another one. Scottish Rite, Freemason. He's got his own money in Scotland, McTominay. Wow. 2 years ago, he couldn't get in the United squad. Now he's the best player in Italy. What's that all about? Do you know who else went out as well? I think, was it Billy Gilmore? Little Freemason, he went to Napoli. Little tiny, he's like a tiny little midfielder. He went with McTominay. Both went to Napoli. And they're Scottish. At the same time, I'm pretty sure some sort of Masonic deal was done. Can I get a woo? This guy, I think he came through Chelsea, another Masonic club. This guy, is he still at Napoli? Yeah. The World Cup starts on his birthday. Oh my word, I just found this. And this guy's at Napoli with McTominay. Oh, he's so good. He's not. He's not. He's freaking bang average. He's bang average and he's tiny. Oh, Adam, you know, look. They're doing their hair blue as well. I don't know what this blue is, guys. Obviously, what Adam, he's wearing Napoli shirt. It was be something bigger than that. Remember when he played for Chelsea? He was sponsored by for the Freemasons. Can I get a woo? This guy is average. I'm not going to call him. Wait, is he weighing 47? He's where? Oh, delete the image. Sure. Why is that image just gone? Yeah, good one, Masons. He's hiding it with that black and white. He's weighing 47. Massive number with Freemasonry. It's Foden's number. Can you see the 47? It's not letting me click on it. It's hiding the image. Anyways, it's definitely 47. Why were Juventus? He did nothing for Chelsea. Look, this guy did nothing for Chelsea, but Juventus wanted him. There's the Masonic point. He did nothing for Chelsea, nothing, but Juventus wanted him. Why? Why? What did he do to earn the interest of Juventus? So again, you don't underestimate these parents. These parents are the ones getting them into it. Can I get a woo? Billy Gilmore didn't just wake up as a young lad and go, I want to be a Freemason. His joke of a parents got him involved in the lodge. Right? These guys who you won't know their name, I don't know their name. It's the family members, right, that get him into it. And I'll probably get this little kid into it, his brother as well. Why so many of the family members make it. He bleaches his hair blonde as well. It looks ridiculous. Right? They don't belong. They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. What is he? What are those pants? Can we get a G's? Is this a new thing for me? Can we get a G's in the chat? What are those pants? G's. Oh, whoa, he's doing a few headers. What a player. You see that as well. All right? They juggle the ball or do a few little tricks, and it's like, whoa, I've seen it when I've gone to football games during the warm-ups. Look at that. Yeah, he's juggling a ball. And I could do that when I was 7. Look at him. He's heading the ball. Whoa, world class. Jeez, what are those pants, Billy? I don't even know how we got to Billy Gilmore here. But I see that 3, bro. That's when they won the Champions League as well. Wearing 3. Of course they did. So, shit, I'm sure, is he going to the World Cup? Probably, he must be. If he's playing for Napoli, he'll get in at Scotland. The F2 freestylers, yeah. F2 Freemasons, baby. Can I get a woo? The F2, what's he called? Billy? I don't know, again. Like, they probably made more money doing that than being pro footballers. Probably got more famous. Adam, is there pictures of Joey Barton doing the Baphomet? I don't know. Probably having him pointing. It must be pointing. If he were captain, he'll be pointing his finger everywhere. So remember, we saw Burnley, the Masonic club. He played for Burnley. And I think who did he attack? Was it Tevez when he got sent off in that? Aguero, I think that was rigged. I think, look, there you go. Look, he's not even looking at anyone. No, I'll just point my finger. But what Joey's doing is he's calling out women. He's stirring. Masons do that. They like to stir stuff. So he's calling out the women. They shouldn't, and he says great stuff. Some of his stuff's a bit harsh, but he's like, women shouldn't be getting the same as men, and they shouldn't. Nobody watches them play. If they did, then they should. In a weird way, if they got, look, that sign, they all do the same signs. And then these fans, I just feel sorry for the fans because they don't know this stuff. So, yeah. How Liverpool almost signed Joey Barton. And someone like Xavi Alonso, absolutely a Mason. Do you know what I mean? You can't get there. That's why I'm like this thing here. Let me ask you, do you think this was real? Was it Aguero he attacked? Do you think this was real? This to me was rehearsed. That's why they call it drama, the greatest show in the world and all of that. I believe Joey Barton, before this game, knew he was getting sent off. You don't? Who thinks it's organic? Be honest. Do you think it's organic, this stuff? Or are they just a Masonic brotherhood? How is it scripted? How do they do it? I don't know. There's so many incidents. I can't tell you, bro. I can't tell you. I don't trust him. And he coached, didn't he? Didn't he coach as well? I'm being held back. Didn't he get opportunities to coach and he did pretty well? To say he's getting held back by the media. This guy is about to go to Barcelona. Look at the state. Clearly a Freemason. And he came through. Where did he come through, guys? Everton. Everton. I think he did. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, he's calling out this. That's a man in a wig who played football. It's a man in a wig. He won't tell you that. There, is that the Baphomet you wanted? There you go. There. And Letizier's done this as well. Adam, did Man United lose 7-0 on purpose? Yep. Just a ritual. And that's why I told you the referees wear the black and the white for Freemasonry. Didn't there used to be a referee called Mason? His last name was Mason. So yeah, this guy wouldn't dare talk to me. And no, his cat, the thug, he came through a council estate, blah, blah, blah. He always gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. He's still relevant, he's still famous. He's always been held back. Yeah, we're all talking about him still. Mason Mount. Yeah, come on. Best friends with Declan Rice since they were little kids. Both play for England together. Come on. Come on, guys. The odds of that are astronomical. You play for England with your best mate growing up, who's not even your brother. It's a clown show. Exactly, last man. Mason Mount, Declan Rice played together, Chelsea Academy. And then they played for England in major tournaments together. And then they got big moves at the same time. Mason went to Man United. Declan went to Arsenal, didn't he? The best friends got those big moves at the same time. One went south, one went north with the move. Although he was already south, wasn't he, Declan? Yeah, Madison's a massive Mason. I'll show you an image of him. Right. I'm not going to keep reading that. But the Scotsman replaced the Scotsman. Moyes, and he didn't do anything, did he? So these initiations, that can be done in a variety of languages. That's why you see a lot of these players that speak multiple languages. Remember Joey Barton? He pretended to speak French, whatever it was. As historically preferred by each lodge, they have special dispensation by their Grand Lodge to continue these traditions that are so different from the rest of the lodges in its jurisdiction. All 10 of these lodges are located in the 16th Masonic District. I think the World Cup's going to be played in 16 stadiums. Sirius, love you, brother. Thank you for everything. Really grateful to you, mate. Guys, go check out his Twitter. Every Mason, right? Mac, the MC connects to Masonry as well. Every Mason must first join a Blue Lodge to become a Master Mason before pursuing any other Masonic path. The term Blue Lodge stems from the traditional blue color of the lodge's regalia and aprons, which historically represents universal friendship and truth. Red Lodge is a colloquial nickname usually referencing appendant bodies that a Master Mason can join. In American and British traditions, it most often refers to the Royal Arch chapter, the York Rite, which is heavily associated with the colour red. In other contexts, red degrees can refer to the Scottish Rite craft degrees, particularly those derived from early French and European Masonic systems. Right, you guys ready for some images? Still don't even have 100 likes. Could we change that? Please, guys. Thank you. And let me know if this is. Do you believe Freemasons are deceiving us now? Just put yes or no. In football. I'm just talking about football here. I could do this with every sport. Rooney, blue. All right, he's doing that Baphomet Masonic symbol. He came through the academy. He was unbelievable, all right, according to his record. And again, that's something you've got to think about. How's this being done, right? So if he's just chosen, if Rooney's just chosen, how was he dominating the academies? Because he did. I've seen the highlights. So I'm not denying Rooney doesn't have crazy ability, but I also believe that he's a Mason. Because there's also lots of young lads that were amazing at academy that never even made it semi-pro. They banged in goals academy. And then maybe they got a few appearances, then they disappeared, they went semi-pro, they went out of the game. Rooney became England's top goal scorer until Kane took over. Right? So there he is with the blue. And there he is with the red. The blue and the red lodges. So he went from Everton to the Red Devils, didn't he? And he just went there. By the way, Vodafone 666. 666 with their logo. Red Devils. Right? Now they're sponsored by Snapdragon. All things like that. So they must know what the dragon represents. Right? Same with like Bruce Lee. Enter the Dragon. Oh, they have a strange take on what the dragon is. Yeah, I don't know why they left out Palmer, Foden, Maguire. I don't know. That will connect to Freemasonry. Maybe the time is up. I don't know. Maybe it's time for new blood and the brotherhood. And there, somebody said, show the image of Rooney with the diamond. That's the Freemason. They're obsessed with the triangle, with 3. That's why the Master Mason's 3rd degree. That's why you get 3 points. And look at that. That's his son. Look. It's so clear. That's Kai, who's coming through Man United's academy. Again, which you automatically get an opportunity at these academies if you're bang average and your dad played in the Premier League. Now, again, Kai, he'll be a good player. I'm sure he's grown up his whole life playing football, all right, getting opportunities. I'm not saying he can't play, but I also believe, like, there's tens of thousands of good footballers who are teenagers. Do you agree? Like, for me, any school you go to, anywhere in England, you probably have at least 2 really good footballers in each grade, correct? Like, when I played for Bradford City, there was at least 4 or 5 really good players at my school. Remember Johnny Snowden, Adam Tomlinson, like really quality. Chris Mitchell, one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen. He just didn't have the attitude. He didn't want to train every day. Like really top players that if you put them in an academy and their dad was like Rooney, they would have made it. So this Kai kid would have probably had no chance without his dad. But I'm sure he's got a good touch and he can finish like most average footballers can do. Let's be real. A lot of you watching this will be thinking, yeah, I'm a good player. But you don't have Rooney as your dad. But look at his celebration. Adam, did you ever watch Soccer Aid? Yeah, I thought it was... When I used to watch those games, Jay Brown, I wanted to be in them. That's all it did to me. I wasn't entertained. I wasn't excited by it. I wasn't looking at them thinking they're all shit or Masons. I was like, man, I wish I was out there. That was my feeling. When I would go watch Premier League games, I was like, I wish I was on that pitch playing. That was my take on it. I wasn't like hammering the players. I was like, oh man, but I was like, I could have whipped that cross in. I could have finished that. I feel like I could beat that player. I feel like I'm as quick as him. That was my mindset watching it. It kind of annoyed me. And then obviously your friends are like, let's get over it. But Soccer Aid, I watched it the odd time and It's pretty shit level, innit? Let's be honest. KSI a Mason? Bro, yes, in my opinion. But poor kid here, look, who taught him that? His dad. He's doing the Masonic vow of silence and covering his eye. So, part of me feels like poor kid, because he's grown up in it. I'm not going to be too harsh on Kai Rooney, but you know he's going to make it, don't you? The Freemason Arms, the pub where the historic 1863 meetings took place, is still open in Covent Garden today, serving as a popular site for football history. Famous footballers, legendary players and managers for Freemasons, including Sir Stanley Matthews, Sir Alf Ramsey and Jock Stein. What do they have in front of their name? Sir. Club ties. Certain English professional teams such as Manchester City adopted pale blue as their team colours due to their ties with local Freemasons who helped bail them out. Masonic lodges, Freemasonry still maintains specialised lodges specifically for the sporting community, such as the football lodge. Now, look at this. This is where Freemasonry was founded, right? I don't know, but I think any of these people you're asking me will be Freemasons. I'll probably just say yes to all of them. The FA was founded, the Freemasons' Arms. That is Gareth Southgate, who missed that penalty at the Euros in England, and then he does a Pizza Hut commercial as a ritual, and then he coaches England. He almost wins the Euros with them a couple of times, and he's right outside the Freemasons' Arms with a Carlsberg, which I think they sponsored Liverpool, didn't they? Look, and he's doing the point. Can you see the point, guys? Tuchel will be some, again, German Mason. I don't know why he's the coach, but he coached for Chelsea, won the Champions League with them when they were sponsored by 3. He's just, don't worry about their nationality. They trip you up with that. They're Masons. I don't care if they speak German, French, English, Portuguese. They're Masons. England, like, obviously, it used to be patriotic England. It's not anymore. People are not proud to be English. Wendy, God bless you. But look, can you see his point, guys, yeah? Yeah, Joshua did the sacrifice after his 33rd fight. The biggest number in Freemasonry. That's crazy serious. Energy Cottbus got promoted to second Bundesliga. My coach from when I was a child was the dad of Deflef Ergang, who used to play in the Bundesliga. Wow. My ex-coaches were all like ex-pros as well. They used to join in training. I didn't think they were good either. Now look at this. Gareth Southgate with his Masonic point outside the Freemason Arms where the FA was founded, and then he coaches England. All right. It's all there, guys. This is what I mean. They don't have to say I'm a Freemason. I'm giving you it. I'm giving you the gold. Yeah, I'm giving you it. He's not going to tell you, yeah, I'm a Freemason. I got the role because I've worked my way up the Freemasonic ladder at my lodge. He can't tell you that. It takes away the illusion of, go get your badges. All right, you can be anything you want to be. It takes away that if they start telling you the truth. Quite clear that Bobby Moore here is a Mason. Why do you think a Mason made him the captain? He didn't just randomly pick this guy. But we'll talk about Gareth Southgate, the former England national team manager. He played, he was the captain for Villa, for Middlesbrough. Again, very, 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 very average footballer to be a Premier League footballer. Spent his boyhood playing grassroots football at Selsdon Junior FC, who was sponsored by stonemasons. His youth team was sponsored by stonemasons on their shirt. Gareth Southgate was only the second best player at Boyle Club, but his intensity drove him to success. How many times do they have to say that about shit players? Guys, why are my likes going down? I had 84 and now I have 79. Who's doing this algorithm? Southgate? Is it Southgate doing this? Guys, smash the like button. It's just gone down by 5 likes. Did Alf Ramsey come back from the dead? Man, it's all the time, man, this bullshit. Yeah, Van Persie's got his son playing with him. Just a joke. You know, like father, like son. Yeah. Mason and Mason. But They say this about a lot of bang average footballers who make it to the Premier League, don't they? His intensity drove him to success. His work rate, his mindset. Because he's shit. He's average. And he had no right to be there. That's what they said about Gary Neville. His intensity, his will to win, his mindset. That's why he made it to the top. Bullshit. Same with his brother. No. Because his dad, Neville, was a Mason who got them there. But that's what they try to tell you, Southgate. It wasn't even the... Like, I don't get how you can't be the best player at your grassroots football when you go along and play for England. Like, I get you might not be the best player in your academy. If you're not the best player, I was head and shoulders better than everybody at my grassroots team. Untouchable at school. Nobody compared with me at school. And he's not even the best. And he played for England. Nah, but why? Because of his intensity. They say that about Jordan Henderson. His intensity, his desire. What other players do they do that with, guys? Where you're like, yeah, he is actually bang average. But he can run. That guy can run. They do it about a lot of them. The secretary of Gareth Southgate's Borough Club, Selson Jr., recalled him as a talented and determined player destined to succeed because of his sheer willingness to get on and do a job well. Guys, Sunday League players do that. It's Sunday League players that have that willingness to get a job done. That can't make you an England international. Oh, but he works hard for the team. And they're always great leaders. They have to be captains. Neville, Southgate. Give him the armband to justify it. Great leader. He's a great leader. Why? Because he points his fingers. Mason Mount is shit. He's so shit, that guy. Oh no, how he got to move to Man United? Mason Mount. There's some footballers, guys, that are an absolute disgrace. Robbie Savage. He was one. Robbie Savage. Oh man, he could get up and down the field, Robbie Savage. He could get in the opponent's heads. Fucking shit though, wasn't he? Now, the only coach to win the FIFA World Cup with England's men's national team was a Freemason, Alf Ramsey. And what did I tell you about the red and the blue lodges? Oh my word. England wore red. Oh my word, I've lost another like. This is hilarious. I just lost another one. I'm going to giggle. I'm going to have to giggle. So there's the red lodge, and he's wearing blue. And he's got that red and blue on. So again, look, there it is, Sir Alf Ramsey. That's why they started wearing gloves in football as well. They didn't used to wear gloves as a goalkeeper. But Sir Alf Ramsey was a Mason. And look at that. It looks very much like the jacket he was wearing in '66. And Bobby Moore, the red. England hosted the World Cup. They're playing in Wembley, but they're the ones that have to wear their away jersey. So these people all here, all on that pitch, they know they're deceiving everyone in that audience. Give me a woo if you agree. They act like Bobby Moore only knows Sir Alf Ramsey through like England training. And also, have you heard like Rio Ferdinand and Rooney and Owen and Scholes talk? They were all like, well, when we played for England, we never got along because we were part of different clubs. They were part of different lodges, guys. So they probably didn't get along. It wasn't because I play for Chelsea and I play for United and we're trying to win trophies. But Spain did it, didn't they? And all of that. Many nations were able to do that. But they were from different Masonic lodges. And also, you notice a lot in football, a coach will take players with him. Any examples? Wherever a coach goes, he signs that player. Because they'll be part of the same lodge. It's like, how's this guy getting another opportunity? Harry Redknapp would always get Nico Cranshaw, wouldn't he? Wherever he went, Nico Cranshaw went with him. There'll be some sort of Masonic connection with them. They are a brotherhood. And Harry will be like, don't worry, Nico, wherever I go, I'll get you a contract. You're good. And that's how they operate. Yeah, Mourinho with Maric. Great example. But they imply, yeah, Ibrahimovic with Jose, another good one. Ibrahimovic is about to have a boxing match, isn't he? It's a circus. It's a circus. Diego Jota played for the Reds. Liverpool, he scored his last goal versus the Blues. Can I get a woo? Now it all makes sense. His last ever goal before he died was for the Reds against the Blues, and it's at Anfield. These clubs were founded by a 33-degree Freemason, right? And then his name, Diego Jota, is the exact same gematria as Freemason. 96, 42, 147, 48. Right, look, the exact same. And that's why, now you know why his last goal, I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead. I've studied Freemasonry and they do rebirth rituals. The rebirth, all right? They die to their old self and they do rituals for their lodges as well, for the benefit of their lodges. Again, Liverpool win the league and he dies. I don't think they die. I don't think Jota's dead. Playing for Everton, Dixie Dean is one of the most prolific goal scorers in English football history with 349 goals in 399 matches between 1925 and 1937. He holds the record for the most goals scored in a single season in top-flight English football with 60. He also represented England 16 times, scored 18 goals, including 2 hat-tricks. He was initiated in Randall Home Lodge, 3261 Birkenhead in 1930. Can I get a woo? So Everton's greatest ever player was a Freemason. Their greatest ever striker was a Freemason. Dixie Dean, fact. Sir Stanley Matthews, one of the greatest English footballers ever, played for Stoke City from 1932. Matthews transferred to Blackpool in 1947, winning the FA Cup in 1953, the year Elizabeth was coronated. Matthews played until he was 50. Wow, that's insane. And in 1956, at the age of 41, he became the first European Footballer of the Year. How is that possible? 41, and he's the first European Footballer of the Year at 41. This was back in like the 50s, and people were dropping dead. This was like right after the Second World War. Best player in Europe at 41. He played 54 times for England. Matthews joined Blackpool's Clifton Lodge number 703 in 1948, shortly after joining the club. Look, what do they always say, guys? If I'm still on 70, oh my word, I'm still on 80 likes. What do people accuse me of and other people? They say he's part of the club, yeah? These footballers, they go from club to club to club, but all the clubs are ran by Freemasons. Now, I do believe that it's possible for a Freemason to move from one lodge to the other. Can I get a woo? Golden Age Deception, God bless you. I believe you can go from a red lodge to a blue lodge. I don't believe that you have to stay loyal to a lodge, just like you don't stay loyal to a club anymore. In football, very few players will be loyal. And I think in Freemasonry, kind of like a church, you can go to a church and be part of that church, but you can leave that church. But you can't reveal the secrets that you learned from that church in regards to the Freemasons. So, for example, I'll give you an example, right? If you're like part of Blackpool's lodge, of Freemasonry. You're part of that lodge. You probably live in Blackpool, yeah? But now say you get a move to London. Or say if you're McTominay, you get a move to Italy. You can't continue to go to that lodge. You're probably going to find the lodge in London or in Italy. Now here's Lalana. Adam Lalana's father helped save the Freemasons. All right? They were going out of business, supposedly. Lalana's father stepped in, grassroots level. And Lalana, he played for Liverpool. He played for England. Southampton. Look, finger point. And Lalana's dad says, everything I know about Freemasonry, Adam knows. Do you know what I mean? Like, Lalana's not going to come out and say I'm a Freemason, but his dad is saying, who's a high-ranking Freemason, who helped save Freemasons, he says, everything I know about Freemasonry, Adam also knows. David Lalana. Look, there was dwindling membership, all right, and he set one up, and then people signed up to it. So you see these guys here, they're Masons, man. Lalana, man. Again, that's the Neymar Mbappe celebration I showed you. It's that. They know where to stand. They know where to put their hands. They know what it represents. And there he is. All right, getting opportunities that we're never going to get. It helps that your dad's a Freemason, didn't it, Adam? Now this guy got to Liverpool and played for England. And Lalana got the winning goal against Scotland in Allardyce's only ever game. Who's quite clearly a Freemason, eh? Hey, Rashi. Now, this is where... Do you remember this guy? James Brady? Anybody? He played for Southampton as well. I'm friends with Letitia. I think he's an ambassador for Southampton. And he went to Everton. James Brady, the former Southampton and England striker, is a high-profile member of the Football Lodge number 9921 in Hampshire. England, a special interest lodge found in 2016 to engage grassroots fans in the community. So that's why you went to a Masonic club, Everton, and why you got the England opportunity. Yeah, but do you remember he had that good season, didn't he? I don't know how they're doing it, but he had a good season because of Freemasonry. Mason. Even this image with the 3 here. That little compass that they've got. And there he is with Letitia doing the Baphomet. I don't trust any of them. Now, my childhood club, I played for Bradford City. I only found this out last night doing my studies. Bradford City were founded by a Freemason. I had no idea. Till I don't even think my family know. I told my dad, he was like, no, really? Tony Fatterini founded Bradford City FC. And guys, I'm going on Freemason websites to find this. Because these Freemason websites, you can look this stuff up if you care. Tony Fatteroni, a prominent Bradford sports enthusiast, watchmaker. So remember, the Freemasons are obsessed with time. And that's why Fergie always would point to his watch. Do you remember that? Can I get a woo? Fergie would always point to his watch. The Masons are obsessed with time, right? He'd always point to his watch. And Bradford City AFC club director, whose family jewellery firm, Fattorini and Sons, manufactured both elite sporting trophies and fraternal regalia for the local Masonic lodges. The firm, that's again why you have them called the firm, these, what they call them, hooligans. The movie's called The Firm. Was established by Antonio Fattorini, an Italian immigrant. So again, this isn't an English guy, who initially settled in Yorkshire in 1827 as a retail jeweller. Bradford City founded by an Italian. Tony Federini was a founding member and board director of Bradford City AFC when it transitioned from Manningham Rugby Club, so there's the rugby again, to an association football club in 1903. His uncle John Flattoni attended the initial Football League election meetings. Tony Federini is credited with proposing the Bantam identity for Bradford City. That's their nickname. It's the Bantams. Their mascot's Billy Bantam. Choosing the aggressive small bird because it was unafraid to fight much larger opponents. Bradford City is famous for its fire, where 56 people died. Right? These sick Masons will be the ones that probably set it off. Because it's something you keep talking about. They like the remembrance stuff. The iconic FA Cup in 1911, check this out, right? The iconic FA Cup in 1911, the Football Association commissioned the Bradford branch of Federini and Sons to design and craft a brand new trophy, the iconic modern design still used today, the FA Cup. In an extraordinary twist of local fate, look, they say this is fate, Bradford City won the FA Cup that exact same year. They defeated Newcastle United in a replay, making them the first ever team to lift the Federini Cup. Guys, come on. Are you still with me? I've got 5 minutes left. Are you still with me? The guy who founded Bradford City designed the FA Cup that we have today. And his club's the first team to win it. And I'm pretty sure it's the only time they've won the FA Cup. The guy who founded Bradford City designed the trophy, and the first team to win that trophy was the guy who designed the trophy. Please tell me I'm not talking to myself. The FA Cup design, when the Football Association realised they did not hold the copyright to their previous trophy, they held a competition in 1910. Federini and Sons designer William Norman won, creating the classic shape that football fans instantly recognised that. Man, I can't believe that's getting no reaction. Jeez. All right, Freemasonry. The commercial relationship between the fraternity family business as suppliers to the Freemasons deeply intertwined with the local social networks that established and funded Bradford City FC during its most successful historical era. So Bradford's most successful era was whilst they were being funded by Freemasons. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, look, the Valley Parade open secret historical research from Bradford sports history reveals that it was an open secret that most of the early committee men and board directors at Valley Parade were members of local Masonic lodges. So again, I grew up, played for Bradford, went to watch the games, loads of my family go watch them. And look, they don't know this. I'm going to finish this off. Foden wears 47 for Man City as a 47 tattoo. Freemasonry 47 is the Euclid 47th proposition, the Pythagorean theorem. It's a fundamental geometric principle stating that in any right-angled triangle, the area of the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the areas of the squares of the other two sides. This is massive in Freemasonry. So now you know why this joker wears 47. Mason Mount, Mason Holgate, Mason Greenwood, Ryan Mason, all came through Masonic academies. They all represented England. All right. The only one out of them where I go, okay, that guy is class, is Mason Greenwood. He's from Bradford. He played for Idle. I used to bang hat-tricks against them when I played for Shipley Juniors. He played for Idle, and I think he went straight to United. But he's from Bradford, Mason Greenwood. I've never met him. Ryan Mason, bang average, the guy who ended up coaching for Spurs. Holgate, all right defender. Mason Mount, dog shit. Dog shit, nowhere near Premier League level. I don't care what you tell me or if you've been brainwashed to think that he is. All right, he scored a few good goals. And that's not difficult, to pick up the ball on the edge of the box, open space to strike a ball, is it? Especially when you go against someone like Onana, freaking ball goes through his legs. And I'll finish with this. Vow of silence. This is very prevalent in Freemasonry. right? They're not going to tell you the secrets. They're not all going to come out. Toddy, Dyer, Lingard, Lewandowski, PK is even doing the devil horns with it. Lukaku, Gerrard, Xhaka, Ronaldo, Neymar, Declan, Trent, Son. What do you notice about all of these? They're from different countries, all doing the same shit. Ronaldo, Foden, Mbappe, Bellingham, Benzema, Kane, Luis Suarez, Morata, I think even Stuart Downing, this dude, Megan Rapinoe, what's this big dope called? I forgot his name. German centre-half, Rudiger, Richarlison, Jose, Messi, Balotelli, Zidane, James, what's this joker called? Anthony, Dani Alves. Look at them all. Rashford, Maguire. They're all in on it. This little guy who's married to a dude, Carvajal. This guy got the player of the season in Saudi Arabia. I've noticed they're getting all the awards, these Portuguese players. He got it. Bruno got it. And then this guy's about to go. I'm almost done here. Gordon came through Everton's academy. Mason, there's a Masonic black and white. See the Freemason sign? There's another one. Strange look. I think this guy's a female as well. I think Gordon's a woman. Or he's inverted. Or he's androgynous. Grealish, Campers Christmas, Campers Aurora Tents. If he's not a female, he's gay. There he's doing the Mason sign. Titus Bramble, Mason sign, square and compass. James Madison, another one. If it's not a female, he's gay. Doing the square and compass, it's that. They're doing that. Okay? They're doing that. That is what they're doing. If you can't see that, you're blind. Okay? And remember, he said this was for the Avengers. People believe it. I don't know where Grealish is. I think he went to Everton and he got injured. He did really well at the start of the season, making assist after assist, and he must have got injured. Look at him. They said this was for the Avengers, guys. Chilwell did it as well. It's bullshit. And then they all played for England. That's me done. I think, and I called Palace. I'm not going to go through my code. I'm too tired. It's not full of Masons. It's just that these people get to the top. The average person, bro, look at this. Palace hit the post 3 times in one attack. 3. This guy's asking who I think won this game. I called the actual freaking tournament 10 months ago. Watchman, much love to you. I don't know. I don't know many Masons. They exist. And he just got his 3rd trophy. This Palace coach got his 3rd trophy with them. Another 3. The Palace, King Charles III, Arsenal coronated in Palace's stadium. All right. But yeah, my Palace code was crazy. So was people on my website. Guys, please pray for the Watchman. He's been sick and his family. And I've got to go now, Watchman. I've been going again for hours. I've got to stop doing this. These streams are too long. They're too exerting. I need to find a way of doing this where I do it in less time. But this has to have helped at least one person today. Show your family this. Show your friends. I'm going to post these images on Twitter. I know people can't sit down and hear me talk for hours. Show them and say, what are these symbols? They'll justify it. Oh, well, they're only doing what the photographer tells them to do. They know exactly what they're doing. Because the photographer's doing it, they're Masons as well. But the average person you go to work with, they're not Masons. They probably never even heard of it. So again, we'll leave with this. Out of evil comes good. However, in the confusion of tongues, gave rise to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. Now that makes more sense, doesn't it, when you see them doing this? They're not silencing the crowd, right? When they're taking these photos, when there's no spectators. Can I get a woo? They're not silencing the crowd when there's nobody in attendance. They've not just scored here. This is a photo shoot. So don't tell me that they just do it to silence the audience, the crowd, when they're doing it as a photo shoot. All right, guys. Smash the like on your way out. I'm going for a walk. And I'm going to relax tonight. Take care. Much love. Come check out my website as well. If you haven't subscribed to The Illusion, do that today for me. And enjoy the rest of your day. See you later, guys. I'm off. Woo, baby!